Hello and welcome to the Flipping Stigma on its Ear Toolkit. Let's have a look through this toolkit, which has been designed by an action group of people with dementia to help others to address the challenges of the stigma and discrimination that people with dementia can regularly experience. As you can see, there are a few options for how someone can enter the toolkit. There is an option for persons living with dementia, family, friends, and care providers, as well as researchers. All options will take you to the toolkit. However, some of the different entry points will provide specific context and information for the different users. Today, we are going to directly enter the toolkit using the options for persons living with dementia. Welcome to the main part of the toolkit. On this introduction page, there is information on how the toolkit was developed, as well as a breakdown of the toolkit's specific aims. All of the information provided in this toolkit is presented from the perspective of people living with dementia, and as mentioned, comes directly from the work of an action group of people with dementia. Let's scroll to the bottom of this page where you can see that the toolkit is organized under three main headings: recognizing stigma and discrimination, responding to stigma and discrimination, and education and advocacy. Let's click on the Recognizing Stigma and Discrimination option. This section begins with definitions of stigma and discrimination based on Action Group's members' experiences and understandings. These are important takeaways for any user of the toolkit to start with a good understanding of the stigma and discrimination that people living with dementia regularly experience. This section also includes first-hand accounts from Action Group members of instances of stigma and discrimination that they have encountered, where they have felt excluded by others, treated as incapable, judged and disrespected, and diminished as a person in their own right. At this point, let's click on one of the options you see here to hear directly from a person living with dementia. Note that these are unscripted conversations where people are speaking from their own experiences and speaking in the moment.
I was going to exercise at the hospital, and I had been going for about 2.5 months and doing well. And it was kind of on intake, so all of us were at different levels. And on one occasion, they asked me to lead the exercise group. And I was struggling to remember what went first. And a man said to me, "What's the matter with you? Have you got dementia?" That's stigma. He made me feel so terrible. I actually quit. I could never find the strength to go back.
Let's move on now to the next section of the toolkit, which focuses on what people can do when they experience stigma and discrimination. On this page, there are three options to help people decide how they might want to respond. These sections include deciding how you want to respond, choosing to speak out, and know your rights. Responding to stigma and discrimination is not always easy to do, and there are different ways of responding, which could include not saying anything at all. It's important to remember that there is no one right way. However, this toolkit includes some suggestions, such as recognizing when you feel vulnerable, valuing your wisdom, talking to others, and knowing that each person has something different to say. Let's move to the third section of the toolkit, which focuses on education and advocacy. As one of the Action Group members has stated, to advocate is to educate. There is an option to go to a resources page, as well as an option that focuses on how people living with dementia can build confidence and competence to be advocates and help to educate others. Let's open that section now. This page includes tips and strategies that people with dementia have found useful. Here you can see them listed out. Let's click on Build Confidence for Public Speaking. If someone would like to learn confidence for public speaking, tips and strategies have been included here for developing this particular skill. Now that you've seen a glimpse of the toolkit, we hope that you will explore it further. Please have a look at it. The toolkit can be found at flippingstigma.com. There are options to provide feedback on each page, so please do send in your comments and feedback so that we can all work and learn together in order to flip stigma on its ear.